Naruto and Sasuke are two sides of the same coin. Both had comparable traumatic childhoods, and both went down their own path, growing up and becoming two of the strongest of all time. But there's one major difference in each of their character. Naruto went through his life and triggered a lot of progress inside the people around him. Whether comrades or enemies, Naruto didn't change a lot throughout his journey. He mostly kept the same attitudes since childhood. Sasuke, on the other hand, was transformed by each layer of reality and truth he encountered. He had the most changes in attitude of all characters throughout the entire series. In contrast to Naruto, Sasuke changed a lot since childhood. Naruto in some way bent life to his will, and Sasuke was formed by life. In this video we will examine this observation, pointing out why Naruto, although having a similar traumatic childhood as Sasuke, was able to have a much different journey. The same with Sasuke. I will outline his personality, his major switches in attitude, and the respective triggers. At the end, the insights we gained will, hopefully, provide a good conclusion. A small disclaimer. This video is not a philosophical discussion about determinism, free will, and fate. Kishimoto invented the concept of incarnation, and therefore, from my very limited knowledge about philosophy, the whole path of Naruto and Sasuke were determined. However, I will focus on the different reactions of Naruto and Sasuke towards what life threw at them. Naruto is a rather simple character. Kid Naruto and grown-up Naruto are almost the identical person. Although experiencing a lot of traumas in his childhood, as for example being an orphan, not having friends and always being excluded, he remained a moral and good person. Kishimoto wrote Naruto as a character who wasn't realistically shaped by his troubled childhood. Whatever he had to go through had a disproportionately small impact on his character. Therefore, it's fair to say that Naruto didn't make a lot of character development, he mostly remained the same. I see three major occasions where he had made progress. The first major occasion was when Naruto was confronted with the death of Jiraiya. There he partly learned to handle death. The second moment was when Naruto found the solution to the cycle of hatred during his confrontation with Nagato, and the third and last moment was when Naruto started to empathize with Kurama. Naruto's attitude towards Kurama changed completely, and ultimately he was able to befriend him. There were also some small moments with rather little progress, but aside from these crucial moments, Naruto mostly stayed the same. I once made two videos about two different types of protagonists. On the one hand, there were realistic ones, which had to make a lot of character development. As primary examples, I used Deku and Ichigo, and on the other hand, there were the optimistic protagonists, which already had a fairly developed personality from the start. That's why they didn't make a lot of character progress. As examples, I used Luffy, Asta, and Naruto. If you already watched the videos, feel free to skip to the displayed time, because I have to repeat myself a lot to describe the character and impact of Naruto. So, Naruto already had a fairly developed personality from the start. For example, Naruto never had to learn to trust his friends. He always knew that he couldn't do everything on his own. And although having brief moments of self-doubt, for far more than 95% of the time, Naruto had a strong belief in himself and his dream. No matter how strong his opponents were, Naruto never lost hope and always continued, having absolute trust in his goals. Since Naruto had a far developed personality from the start, it wasn't him who did the progress, but the people around him. Naruto could embody what the people around him with less developed personalities needed to make progress. Wherever Naruto went, he almost always transformed the people around him, and he, on the other hand, stayed the same. On the smaller scale, Naruto triggered the progress of Hinata, Neji, Gaara, and Zabuza. and on the larger scale, Kurama, Obito, Nagato, Sasuke. The described dynamic can be seen in almost every anime with a protagonist who already has a fairly developed personality. He changes the people around him. If you want to know more about it, check out the videos. Naruto went through his life and he transformed the people he met. He also didn't let himself be shaped by whatever happened to him. He always held on to what he believed to be right. Naruto therefore became the director of fate. He directed the journeys of countless people with his natural personality and actions. Sasuke is a completely different breed. Just like Naruto, he also had a very troubled childhood. His entire clan was eliminated by his big brother, who he adored. In contrast to Naruto, Sasuke had everything and then lost it all. As a 7-year-old child, his highest goal became to take revenge for his clan by eliminating Itachi. It was the first time that the circumstances around Sasuke shaped him. Sasuke was also relatively talented and popular in comparison to his peers. At the beginning, Sasuke was clearly ahead of Naruto, but Sasuke played it cool. As a result, we didn't realize until later whether he identified with his lead or not. At that time, Sasuke was driven by hatred and the will of revenge. But he was pro-Konoha and a good comrade of Sakura and especially Naruto. They trusted each other and made a great duo. But with time, Naruto grew stronger, consequently breaking his limits. In moments of strong emotions, he was carried by the Kyuubi chakra. But with Jiraiya, he learned the Rasengan and was able to make his first steps to one day possibly fully control the Kyuubi chakra. When Naruto won against Shukaku and Gaara, Sasuke was just a powerless bystander who couldn't do anything. The insecurities of Sasuke broke through. Another major happening, which probably left an even bigger mark of frustration on him, was his sudden confrontation with Itachi. That reality check was brutal. Itachi bodybagged Sasuke and made him relive his trauma for 3 whole days inside Tsukuyomi. Sasuke woke up in the hospital after hopelessly losing against Itachi. Sasuke was deeply impressed and intimidated by Naruto's strength. It pointed out his weaknesses, which revealed his insecurities. Sasuke got angry and wanted to fight Naruto on the spot. The reaction of Sasuke is very understandable. At that point he believed to only live for one goal, which was to revenge his clan. Sasuke already grew much stronger. There's a huge power gap between the 7-year-old Sasuke and the 12 to 13-year-old Sasuke. Even though he has gotten so much stronger, the feeling of powerlessness after each confrontation with his older brother remained the same, which fueled his frustration. Sasuke accepted the offer from Orochimaru. He left the village and his decision was undermined by his final fight against Naruto. Sasuke won by a narrow margin, and he seriously considered to eliminate Naruto so he could awaken his Mangekyo. In the end, however, he decided against it. After all, he didn't want to blindly follow the commandments of his brother. Sasuke at that point wasn't anti-Konoha, but he left anyways and intensely focused to get stronger so he could achieve his goal. Sasuke's true feelings about Naruto after the time skip are difficult to figure out. At first he seemed determined about eliminating Naruto, but after just one point of Orochimaru, he stopped instantly. Afterwards, Sasuke refused to give his body to Orochimaru and went on to battle his brother. At that time, he couldn't imagine how hard the truth would hit him after achieving his biggest goal. Itachi had his final battle against Sasuke. Black Zetsu watched the whole fight and quickly came to the conclusion that Itachi wasn't giving his all. Sasuke, on an intuitive, unconscious level, had the same impression, but he continued anyways. The final move of Itachi must have left Sasuke with many different opposing emotions. After Kirin and the outbreak of Orochimaru, Sasuke was out of options. In his desperation, he even started to throw kunais. Itachi's final words and death left Sasuke feeling confused, relieved, and probably a bit empty, because he fulfilled his goal. Obito then hit Sasuke with the biggest plot twist in Naruto. He explained to Sasuke in detail that virtually his entire life had been a lie. Itachi never hated the Uchiha clan. His intentions were totally different from what Sasuke believed to be true. The higher-ups of Konoha failed to find a diplomatic solution with the Uchiha clan. Especially Danzo's actions led to the distrust of Itachi and total failure to negotiate. Itachi wasn't the egoistical, cold-blooded murderer Sasuke always thought he was, and probably even wanted him to be, because then everything would be easier to understand. Sasuke even repressed the memory of awakening his Sharingan and seeing his brother cry after eliminating the clan. Itachi actually loved his brother more than anyone. He took all the tension between Konoha and the Uchiha clan on his shoulders. If the Uchiha clan decided to take control over Konoha, then Konoha would grow weak and a possible fourth great shinobi war would occur. Itachi saw the terrifying reality of war and therefore made everything to prevent it. Sasuke was shocked. Now the last words of Itachi made sense, and he could remember his repressed memory. Sasuke reconnected with the love he had for Itachi, partly understanding his suffering. That pain made him awaken his MS, and once again, reality changed Sasuke fundamentally. Itachi put his brother over everything, and Sasuke wanted to do the same. Therefore, he wanted Konoha to pay for what his brother had to do. It's again an understandable consequence. All the hatred he felt for his brother was built on a lie, and eventually it turned back into love. Sasuke thought it was the best way for him to show his love for Itachi. He was determined at first, and he eliminated Danzo. There were also more actions with the 5 Kages and Obito, where Sasuke also played a major role. But that's not important to understand his character. He basically still wanted to destroy Konoha. But then, out of nowhere, Sasuke met Edo Itachi inside the forest. Shortly prior, Itachi freed himself from the control of Kabuto and was on his way to fight him. Sasuke met his resurrected brother after learning the truth about him. Itachi had a different plan for Sasuke and was disappointed that Sasuke learned the truth about him. However, Sasuke demanded Itachi to explain everything. In the future, I planned to make an analysis video about the Talk no Jutsu, because I think it's extremely misunderstood. Edo Itachi fought side by side with Killer Bee and Naruto to seal away Edo Nagato. In that short confrontation, Itachi was influenced by the dynamic behind the Talk no Jutsu. Itachi, who did everything on his own his whole life, who made any possible precaution to ensure that his plans would work out, and therefore left almost nothing to chance, fully entrusted the future of the person he loved the most to Naruto. After Itachi's brief conversation with Naruto, he stopped trying to manipulate Sasuke, although Sasuke told him about his plan to destroy Konoha. Itachi tolerated it and said it's now the task of Naruto to take care of Sasuke. He then showed Sasuke the whole truth about what led to his secret mission and died a second time after telling Sasuke that no matter what he does, he will always love him. Itachi's first death and reveal were incredibly written, but bringing him back and giving him another 10 out of 10 departure is peak writing. Kishimoto definitely knew what he was doing. Sasuke's confrontation with Edo Itachi made him reflect on his plan. He was impressed by the love Itachi still had for Konoha. Even after dying and coming back to life, he did his best to protect the world and Konoha from Kabuto. Sasuke acknowledged Itachi's will and therefore wanted to learn about the philosophy of a village and what it means to live and die for it. Sasuke clearly didn't know about what to do next. Itachi's love for Konoha left a resonating effect on him. Orochimaru revived the 4 Hokage, and Sasuke had everything explained to him. The history before Konoha, the era of the Senju Uchiha War, and then the complete story of the founding of the village. Everything was explained by Hashirama Senju himself. Tobirama expanded the story of Hashirama and explained why he feared and treated the Uchiha clan the way he did. The whole context Sasuke got reshaped his views and motivation once more. He escaped his limbo state from before and wanted to become the anti-Hokage. Sasuke didn't want to destroy the concept of villages, because first of all, Itachi gave his life to protect the village, and second of all, Sasuke now learned about the circumstances before villages. War and chaos were present anywhere. Sasuke wanted to continue the legacy and method of Itachi. He wanted to establish a dictatorship by eliminating all Kages from all different villages. As a result, he would become the canvas for all the hatred, preventing the villages from fighting each other. Instead, they'd try to solely take him out. With all the hatred focused on him, the people could live in peace, as it was with Konoha after Itachi took all the hate to secretly prevent a civil war. Sasuke joined the shinobis and fought side by side with his former comrades again to defeat Obito, Madara and Kaguya. But none of these fights made him reconsider his current philosophy. At the very end, it was Naruto who lived up to Itachi's trust and got Sasuke completely out of his dark path. Sasuke struggled a lot to deal with the truth surrounding his older brother, and how to properly handle the love Itachi had for him the whole time. Sasuke couldn't free himself from what Itachi did for him until his defeat against Naruto. The whole time he was bound to the sacrifice of Itachi and somehow wanted to do it justice, following his footsteps. At first he wanted to put Itachi above everything else and destroy Konoha, but then he met Edo Itachi and realized that he would destroy everything Itachi had given his life for. Through Hashirama, he came to understand the purpose of a village, yet he still wanted to take on all the hatred of all the villages, becoming the anti-Hokage, similar to Itachi. Ultimately, the unlimited stubbornness and timeless brotherly love Naruto had for Sasuke made him clear that he could never get rid of Naruto, and therefore could never implement his plans. No matter what Sasuke would try, Naruto would never stop trying to change Sasuke's mind. For one final time, Sasuke's worldviews were shaped again, and because of Naruto, he was able to become what Itachi, and prior to Itachi, Shizui, originally wanted to be, the Shadow Hokage, secretly protecting the village. The first half of Sasuke's character journey was defined by carrying the burden to revenge his clan. The second half was defined by properly handling the sacrifice and love of his brother. This video is kinda personal. I don't want to make it bigger than it is, but when I watched Naruto for the first time, I thought Sasuke was very annoying and I absolutely couldn't stand him. His indecision, constant changing of goals, lack of a common thread, and overall the omnipresence of confusion, paired with his edginess, made him unbearable for me. Especially in contrast to almost all other good characters of Naruto. They also had complex characters with traumatizing backstories, but they all followed a coherent and understandable path. Nagato and Obito were good, then turned evil, and at the very end of their lives, they turned good again. Naruto stayed good the whole time. Most characters had a maximum of 2 major switches in attitude, either staying on one side or switching from good to bad and back. But most importantly, they had clear visions of their goals from the start, just working towards it. Sasuke in some way broke the scale. He is probably the greyest character inside the verse, without having a clear goal from the beginning until the end. The older I got, the more I was able to understand Sasuke, and eventually I started to appreciate him. Because I think he's psychologically the most realistic portrayal of a human character journey inside the verse of Naruto. I absolutely understand how inspirational optimistic characters can be. Watching Naruto, Luffy and Asta going out into their worlds and forcing their good benevolent will onto their verses and witnessing how the people around them are transformed by them is incredibly motivational. But speaking for the real world, it's unrealistic. We are indeed shaped by our traumas and encounters with reality without having a fairly developed personality from early on. We need to learn a lot of new things and quite frequently change our attitudes by what we've learned, sometimes being confronted with times of confusion and indecision. That makes all of us more like Ichigo than Luffy, or in Shippuden terms, Sasuke than Naruto. As always, thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and write your opinion in the comments. Check out my other videos. I did similar videos in the past and more content on the way. And yeah, hopefully see you soon.